Holy Ghost is going into an action. An action. Born of an action meaning, okay, let's get that in the Holy Ghost. We're going to take it real simple. What is the Holy Ghost? Holy Ghost ain't just a spirit that just come up in you, right? Holy Ghost is an action that you be showing the Holy Ghost. I'm going to explain what the Holy Ghost is. You have to receive the Holy Ghost. It's a gift when you do something. What's the Holy Ghost? You got that for me? Acts? Come on.
Look at Acts chapter 7 and verse 51. Right. Ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears.
Read.
Ye do always resist the Holy Ghost.
So when you resist the Holy Ghost, you're rejecting the Holy Ghost from coming in. But how, right? Because it's not just a ghost, a spirit that just come up in you and come out. It's not that. You show that you're worthy of the Holy Ghost by doing something. So why would I resist the Holy Ghost? How do we resist the Holy Ghost, right? It's like when you're trying to raise your kids right? And then they go against how you want to raise, how you're raising them. Correct? You know what I'm saying? They're going against your will, your wishes. We resist the Holy Ghost because we go against our God's will. And he can't deal with us or bless with us right. So the Holy Ghost, read, come on.
Verse 53.
Right.
Who have received the law by the disposition of angels.
It says, we've received the law by the dispensation, meaning the works of who?
Of angels.
Of the angels going into the prophets, the messengers. Right? The messages of God going into the prophets. You know?
And have not kept it.
And have not kept it. So when you don't keep God's law, you're resisting the Holy Ghost. You get what I'm saying? Do you honestly get it? Here go a law that our people resist a lot nowadays. They think that God is dealing with them. Thou shalt not kill. Keeping it simple. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. We have music. We have music. We make shows. And we literally have what we call a culture based off of breaking God's commandments. You understand that? And we're the same people today that say God is dealing with us. And how is that sin taught to us? From slavery. But I want you to understand that in America, we was raised to be sinful people. That's why they make money off of our debt, literally. The correctional facility fill us. So I made a mention how this Bible speak about us, right? Give me Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. What we got to understand is the word deceiver means to deceive many, right? Satan, right? We've lived amongst the greatest deceiver on this planet because this Bible has been used to push the white man's agenda, but using our history in it. That's the greatest enemy that we could ever have is the one that you cannot see. Because even to this day, we are the descendants of the children, of the slaves, that was being whooped on our backs. And then when we see the white man, we don't think that that's our enemy. Because he give us sports, he give us BET, he let us get houses now, he let us drink out of the same water fountain. But how did it get to that point? Because originally they're trying to make us forget that we're at war with them. You understand? And they kill our children. So read this real quick. Go ahead. I'm talking about.
The book of Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Ain't nobody been robbed and spoiled so much as the black man and the black woman in America. We've been robbed and spoiled. How were we robbed? We was robbed out of our homeland. We was taken out of Africa. We was taken out of our land of Israel, and we were put in another land.
You don't think we was all around already?
Huh?
You don't think we was all around
Yeah,
already?
we were. But the majority of us came from the west coast of Africa, right? Now I'm gonna get back on the point of what you asked about Joseph and Mary. Remember we was talking about Immaculate Conception, right? That's something that was taught to us in religion. But I want to hit this point right here because we was robbed of our nationality. Because what's your nationality?
What's my nationality?
Yeah.
Shit, they real with you, like my mama. I don't even know. African American. I don't even know.
There you go.
I'm gonna say African American. I'm gonna say African American, but we don't put
Who called us African
Right.
American?
But see, I know that already.
We gotta question this stuff. Who called us black? I see a light skinned brother, you little light skin. I see, but we got the same spirit in us, right? Who called us black? Who called them white? But when you look at their pigmentation, it's red. They got some rednecks down here. Well, when you go back to the Bible, the original Israelites, the Jews, they were black. And the first mutation of man was a white man, what we call today a red man named Esau. They come from us. But meanwhile, why are we inferior to their, inferiority or whatever you want to call it? Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is we've been taught for so long that we're blacks, niggas, and whatever the case may be, right? But they come from us, right? So anyway, read this verse real quick. We are people robbed.
But this is the people robbed and spoiled.
How are we spoiled? We're destroyed. That word spoiled means we destroyed for what? The lack of knowledge. We're destroyed because we don't know who we are. Because if I ask 10 different black men what their nationality is, they're going to give me 10 different answers. Some might say, I used to say I was a Christian, I was a Muslim, I was pro-black, but I'm one man. You get what I'm saying? And in America, we've been given the free will to be whatever you want to be. Meanwhile, they know their history. But keep reading real quick, come on.
They are all of them snared in holes.
So we're all snared in holes. These holes that it's going into is talking about those prison cells. You want to know how I know? Read, come on.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Who filled up the jail system? The Bible literally just said there are men on this planet that have been robbed and spoiled, and they have been filled in holes and in prison houses. That's your private, what you call it? Your private prison systems. Those institutions that make billions of dollars off of legal slaves. Because do y'all know anything about the 13th Amendment of this Constitution of the United States of America? Y'all know anything about it?
It's basically like what I mean. I don't know it word by word, but it's basically like they basically imprison black people all over. Like they're gonna use prisons for profit. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that, right?
Yeah, you
like,
close to
like,
it.
like almost like a, it's almost like a I think it's part of like that what they call it, what's the name for prison, middle school to prison.
Prison to prison.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of all the lines of the same objective as what you're saying.
What I'm saying, it goes into what you're
saying,
which is the 13th Amendment. Slavery is abolished, except if there are criminals. Right. I'm just summing it up right there. So who fill up the prison houses? Our people. The system in society. When you put drugs and guns in a community of poor people, what you think they're going to do with it? They're going to sell and kill each other. And then, when you have that phenomenon, you'll have, our death, our sin facilitates the white man. I'm going to tell you straight. The brother came in, he was passionate, he left or whatever in the uproar. But the white man don't want us to do right now what we doing for y'all right now. Which is let y'all know that there's a better way of life that Christ taught to the disciples from the beginning.
So what happened after this? Only you want to know what happened after this?
What happened?
What like my bad, bro. Like okay, you come to educate right us on what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? What do we need to do to change the narrative?
Very good, very good question. Best question we can ever ask. I'm gonna give you an answer right the Bible, because it's the only solution that's in the Bible. All right. What do we do? Because this all sounds good and nice, right? What do we do? Read.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8 and verse 16.
Come on.
These are the things that ye shall do.
Answer your question, right? Read.
Speak ye every man truth to his neighbor.
Because if the communication amongst us is true, then our actions should follow, right? Like if I say, thou shalt not kill, steal, thou shalt not hate your brother as your heart. We need to learn these heavenly morals, these royal.
Look, hey, bro, why be so friendly sometimes, bro? That's why I be so friendly sometimes. So, OG, I only be trying to be friendly, but I be doing that in that state of mind, bro, trying to think like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like it's enough hate going on around here amongst us. I be speaking to motherfuckers that don't even speak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just try to break that. Yeah.
Read that again.
These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor.
Because if our communication is godly, then the actions of the people should be the same. Now, not all of us are evil, but a lot of things that we do here in America, we think ain't wrong. We don't acknowledge that. Like, I'm going to give you an example. I got tattoos on my neck. I'm looking at my gods, the sons of God. We got tattoos. What we do amongst our community is we warn each other this is not the way of life that we should be living. To put marks on our flesh like the Egyptians did, like God told us not to. Because God made your temple for him, not for you. For you to be his example of gods on the planet. But in America, we was taught everything is good. Just live your life and eat chicken and die. Die, nigga, die, and you're going to go to white man heaven. You understand what I'm saying? That's the philosophy we've been taught in Christianity. They don't want us to communicate to our people that they must change their ways. And that's what we're trying to do out here in these Tampa streets, right? And throughout the whole world. Because you see purple and gold, we're doing this throughout the whole planet. Where we're warning our people like Christ did, a black man with his black friends, the disciples, to warn the people we got to leave from sin and come back to how we used to rule as kings.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
There's no kingdom, no economics, no millionaires without the morality of the people being right. That's why we at a lower state. But go back to that real quick. What you had? Keep reading where you at, because he asked a question. Read.
These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor.
The Bible says, speak truth to your neighbor, right? Because the enemy, the children of the enemy that enslaved my forefathers that we pass around in these flyers, they're not our friends, bro. They're not our friends. They continue to put us in loopholes to make us forget about the evil of their fathers. And we have to learn how to police our own and take care of our own communities, but not off of our own understanding, but off of God's commandments. You understand that? Because God is black, and he only has the remedy for black people. We can't continue to keep trying to solve our solutions or the problems of our communities with cardinal solutions, right? With the white man's solutions. Our solution, our remedy is this Bible. You understand what I'm saying? This is the only thing that's going to heal us. But Martin Luther King came with the Bible, but you know what he had? He had religion of the white man on him. He didn't have the turning from sin that's taught in the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. You understand what I'm saying? So read on real quick. This is the answer to the question. You said, what do we do? Because it sounds good, what do we do? First and foremost, we got to know who we are. You understand what I'm saying? The white man ain't going to tell you who you are because he's still calling you African American. His slave. What's your last name? That's a slave.
Yes.
What's your last name? Mine used to be Green. What's your last name? So where we get these names from? Yeah, I did. I did. Mine used to be Green. But when you start learning and actually acting out your true heritage, you take that on yourself. Like, why do you think Malcolm X did? He didn't want to be called Little no more. Because he understands the slave master put this name on us. You get what I'm saying? So now, since we're God's property, not the white man's property, with your actions and you understanding your real God's given heritage, you'll start to change your ways in your family. You start raising your families and your communities better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going to go back to the brother that burst out real quick. We're not forcing nothing on nobody. We just want our people to understand that they're greater than who they are. That's what we've been told in this society. You get what I'm saying? And then once you know you're great and who you are to God, you start acting how God created us to be. So keep reading this where you at, exactly right. Come on.
Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates.
So what do? We got to execute the judgment of truth. We got to have protection against the drug dealers and the brothers that invite sin in our community, that make us look bad. You get what I'm saying? We have to have them guardrails up. We start to actually build real communities, real neighborhoods, and not just the hood. Where we love each other as people. But listen, that's the greatest weapon that we have is God's love in our communities. Nothing else ain't gonna fix it. We can get guns, we can do all that kind of stuff. But if we don't love each other, we shoot each other. You get what I'm saying? If we have millions of dollars, we want to rob each other. We ain't been doing it right for generations. So anyway, go back to this real quick. I'm ranting. Go back to answer the brother's question about Deuteronomy 28 actually. Let's get to the basics. Hey, so what's your name, bro? What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name, sir?
Clarence.
Clarence. All right. So Clarence, when you read, all right, twin. Hey, when you read in Matthew's about Joseph and Mary, Jesus Christ's mother, right? Mother and father, right? You read how the Bible said that he would come of the seed of David, right? Of the seed of David, his father, Christ will come. Not the nature of an angel, like I was talking. Give me that in real quick. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 12.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and verse 16.
This is talking about Christ.
For verily he took not on the nature of angels.
Because in religion it was taught that Jesus Christ came up with immaculate conception, right? You know, and we're going to get to some basic stuff about us as a people. But read this, since you asked the question, read that.
For verily he took not on him the nature of angels.
Christ didn't take on him the nature of angels. Like he didn't come down with wings and with an aura all around him. Does that make sense to you?
Right.
Like an angel, how they thought, or born of an immaculate conception.
Right.
You know, what did he do?
But he took on him the seed of Abraham.
He took on him after the seed of Abraham. Give me that real quick in Acts. I think it is. He came with the seed of David. I think it's Acts chapter 1, verse 6.
This is the book of Acts chapter 2 and verse 30.
There you go. Thank you.
Therefore, being a prophet and knowing that God has sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loins.
So this is talking about the prophet David, a black man that you read about in the time of 1 Samuel in the Old Testament, what we call it, right? What did he say about David? Read.
That of the fruit of his loins.
The fruit of his loins is talking about your rod and your sack. All right? And the fruit of a man's loins, read.
According to the flesh,
Uh-huh.
he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
He will raise up Christ to sit on his throne. What it's going into is of the lineage of men, no king on the planet has ever been born except he come from his father. You understand what I'm saying? So now go back to that in Wisdom of Solomon real quick, verse 7, when it says the swallowing scrolls, I just mentioned about a king. So you read from Genesis to Revelations that Jesus Christ wasn't born of an immaculate conception. He was born of the seed of his father. To answer your question that you were asking, right? Here go another scripture for that.
But the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 6.
And look, the word virgin simply means a young woman of marriageable age, right? That's what virgin means. It don't necessarily only mean she ain't never had sex. A virgin is a young woman. Read on, real quick.
For all men have one entrance into life, and the light going out.
Hey, that's it on that. Deuteronomy 28. So remember we talked about, remember we talked about, you asked the question, what do we do? Because it sounds good pretty much, but what do? We got to keep God's commandments, bro. We got to keep God's commandments in the faith of Christ. And change ourselves, and then we change our community. 2nd Ezra chapter 14. 2nd Ezra 14. Because what's the good of me telling you what God's saying if I'm not applying it myself? That's a hypocrite. How can I tell you to stop smoking if I'm doing it? I can't give you that experience. I can't give you that word. I'm a hypocrite. How can I tell you not to kill your own brothers if I'm in the midst of the mindset of murder? And we can't pick and choose how to be godly. We got to be godly according to the example of Christ. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to really tap back in to how the Lord really wants us to be. Read this real quick. Yeah, sit down in the house and yours.
2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order.
That's us and you. That's your household. That's you. You are God's house. You His temple. But if you defile His temple, God gonna destroy you. We living on borrowed time, and we constantly right now in America, we keep living our lives like the white man wants us to do. The Negro was fashioned in America.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.